Christoph Svoboda. How are
Hey,
you?
very good. How are you?
Everything is okay. Thank you for your time. And I really would like to talk to you a long time ago because about 10 years ago, almost 10 years ago, we talked about the communication in companies, in big business. And I will show now here the image from one interview. And you told that the challenge was to managing the attention and to enable the future. And we are starting the social media, and you are prophetic because the situation became very, very challenging to everybody because we are under a lot of information every day, and every day is more difficult to everybody to pay attention, to focus, and to get results. Let's we start. You tell me what changed.
In a way, everything changed and nothing changed. What changed dramatically is the way how we communicate with each other, how we consume information is completely different than 10 years ago. I remember I often read physical books, yeah, and they had 1,000 pages. Today, I'm not doing this anymore because I listen to audiobooks, and then not even to the full version of audiobooks. I listen to short versions, or I'm not taking the time to listen to 1,000 pages. And this is just one example. We are all confronted with much more information than we used before. Now, when you sit in the evening, and then you have your mobile phone, and then you swipe through content. And if it doesn't hook you in the first 1, 2, 3 seconds, it's gone. It's not consumed, it's not remembered, it's not understood, it's just not present anymore. So what's the result of this is platforms. Initially it was Facebook and Meta. Now you see the much more extreme form like TikTok. And we are almost arriving in a TikTok content-driven economy now, attention economy now. So we seem to have lost our ability to focus and manage our attention. And following from this is a kind of oversimplification of everything. Everything has to be one bullet point. Everything has to be one headline, one sentence, not even half a sentence. Yeah, 3 words. Otherwise, it's lost in the flow.
How do you help your clients? Because the clients in business have the same problem that we have in the society, the entire society. Inside the company, the managers, the CEOs, the C-level people was under pressure. Same thing that always before, but now with a different challenge because needed to manage the attention to put the team together. And sometimes this is very difficult. You told now about you listen the book and how you are working with your clients to build synergy in team at this moment that nobody pay a good attention in anything.
That's a tremendous challenge. And to address this challenge, we have to develop the program to reconnect and rediscover the power of authentic communication. That's one of the key issues with increasingly difficult to have a normal, meaningful, respectful, in-depth conversation. I remember, and you for sure remember the times when there was an issue, everybody came into a room, we discussed this, we looked each other into the eye, we understood each other's viewpoints, and then found a common ground and made a decision that was okay for everybody. And this ability seemed to have lost. So I think we really need to rediscover the power of authentic communication, of relating to each other.
The word reconnect, it's a magic word. I love this word. And let me put some new ingredient in this conversation. I had the opportunity to meet you a few days ago personally. At the end of our lunchtime, we talk about politicians. And we have different point of view. Sometimes one person is more to left, others more to right. One is more favor about multicultural immigration. Other one is totally against this. How this impact inside companies? Because inside business, we don't have preference. We need to focus the business. How do you see this?
I have to tell you a little story. One of my clients, tremendous problem. Ukraine war happened, and they had a very large division in Russia and a large division in Ukraine. Thousands of people affected in both companies. And then they are all connected through the company intranet. And now we have a war of words going on in the company's intranet about the war in Ukraine. How do you as a company address this? How do you moderate this? It was a huge problem. And then in the beginning, we literally had to cut off the communication between the two countries. It was a tremendous problem, and these are colleagues who know each other for 10, 20 years, work together on a day-by-day basis, and flip of a switch, the complete communication culture was gone. And then we had a really tough challenge. We brought in top-down leaders, and then bit by bit, came into a room, re-established a kind of let's agree to disagree, and re-established a bit-by-bit working relationship. But it took hundreds of hours, but this was one of the greatest challenges I ever had to face as a communication expert.
Wow. When you talk this, I remember about Yuval Harari when he explained that we lost the ability to listen and the principle to listen different point of view and think about before reject. And I feel today people reject different ideas before think about, before understand. And one more question to you. I heard that you work with some teams in a workshop that you develop some points to reconnect the people with a new target. Talk about this, because I really would like to share this with my clients in Brazil.
To refocus, we need to literally learn everybody on a very personal level to learn to focus again. This starts by dealing with TikTok content attention economy. Yeah, we learn to go beyond the 3 or 15 seconds. This can be done by little training exercises that force you to focus or concentrate for 1, 2, 3, 5 minutes. It's very interesting to see, and sometimes it's shocking to the participants of our workshops how they are not able to focus for 5 minutes on a talking. I'm talking really focus. Yeah, nothing else, no phone calls, no internet, no listening to another conversation. Focus on one issue. I would say 8 out of 10 weren't able to do that. Being able to focus yourself on content. One step. And then you're only with yourself. Next step. Being able to focus on somebody else. Being able to listen to somebody else and not interrupting. Paulo, you know me. I'm very bad at this. I much too often interrupt because I have something to say. I want to take a point. I want to emphasize a point that you make, or I want to say, hey, that's complete bullshit. And I really have to restrain myself to listen. But it's also, it's self-healing, so to say, to shut up and listen. Yeah. And listen and trying to understand at most ask questions, and I'm not talking about questions where you lead somebody in the direction of the opinion you have, so really questions to dive into whatever the other is telling me or telling you. And there are a couple of really good reconnection exercises you can do to relearn that. And that's amazing. It's amazing for people to rediscover this almost magical power of listening again.
Wow. This is so serious, no? Because if we can't stay 5 minutes in total attention, looks like we are sick, you know? We are totally
For
sick.
sure. That leads me to another question or issue. We are addicted, to get instantaneous feedback. You see a video and you like it and you get an instant inspiration, creative thought, smile, whatever. Or you post something and then you post something on LinkedIn. Everybody of us is doing that. And how many of you are checking 5, 10, 15 minutes and every hour how many people have seen it, how many people have commented, how many likes did I get, how many people forwarded my post? It's called instant gratification. We are doing something to get an instant feedback. And in the brain, it's the same mechanism. It's a kind of dopamine addiction. Yeah, it's the same thing like drugs, alcohol, or sex. But when you talk about your internet addiction in the brain, when you are scrolling through your content and swiping and commenting, it's the same chemical processes that is going on in your head. It's the same as if you would drink a vodka or if you would do drugs.
Yes. And I was reading about this. I read that when you are totally addicted, you kill your own imagination. And if you do this, you are incapable to innovate, to have a new insights, to have a new ideas to the business. For that reason, I tell to my clients, we must to shut down for some period of the day, the total connection to connect with the real people in the real life.
In Germany, for instance, have now dedicated connection times. So you come in the morning at 9 into the office, you have 1 hour to check your emails, to shoot off your emails, and then you are off connected. Then they shut off the email service. They shut off the Teams chat till 11 o'clock. Then you have till lunch for 1 hour to actually work, to meet people or to focused work on something.
We have the more sophisticated tools to communicate like we do now here. We can talk anywhere, anytime, without costs. We can have a wonderful integration and looks like don't work. Looks like we lose the synergy in the companies, we lose the synergy in the society, and the people lost the ability to have a good conversation. How we can fix this?
We lost our connection. We are disconnected, and now we have to reconnect again. And this is exactly what we are doing in our workshops, coming together and connect back and connect again. We are learning to reconnect again, that hence the name. Then something almost magical happens. The results come in.
Looks like for me, this work to not only for business, but work for family, work to husband and wife, father and son.
Oh, yes.
Because looks like it's a general problem today, no?
Yeah, it's a general problem. I can give you a tiny little insight in one of the exercises or one of the questions I ask. If you talk to somebody, let's say you talk to your lovely wife and you have a little disagreement, and ask yourself the question, who has the problem? Yeah. Are you having the problem or is your wife having the problem? If you have the problem, you need to address it differently. And when you realize your wife has a problem, you address it in another way. But when you ask the question beforehand, then you can consciously make the choice of how to address this in a respectful, meaningful manner.
Christoph, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Paolo, for having me. I look very much forward to work together with you again after almost 10 years. We have now reconnected, and I'm very much looking forward to an amazing time, an amazing project.